Okay, so July 22nd, our little Healy user group, where tonight we're going to talk about the Heal Advisor app, go through a little demo of that, and then we'll take care of anybody's questions. And purpose of the group is really to help everybody learn how to get the most out of their Healy and
And
any kind of questions. Anybody else have anything?
I think, John, just making sure that we use the word Healy advisor search, because with the blue being called the Healy advisor, we want to make sure that it's the Healy advisor search
Yes. And the
app.
Blue Dot app or Healy Advisor Analyze, if you
Yeah.
want to be
So we
technically
want
correct for the Blue Dot. So,
so we want he
yeah. And trust me, Tammy and I were talking with one of the guys that whispers into the ears of the marketers and go, would you guys be willing to do us a favor and give us a better marketing name where they're not so close? But,
but
so I am going to get my screen going here, and uh, while I'm doing this, Tammy, I've made you a co-host. So if people come in, can you just let them in when I
okay.
start doing that?
Let me
Uh,
get my screen on a different view then. Okay.
so I am going to get my iPad. I'm going to share my screen. Well, that's interesting. Why are they showing this? Because that's not on my iPad. Let me cancel that. Stop sharing. Let's go back. Share screen. Share iPad. Well, that's weird. Not sure if this is plugged in on my computer. I don't even know where that is. Okay, we'll try that one more time. See what shows up. You guys see something like a Zoom screen there that was saying Zoom increase your limit? Is that what you guys saw?
No, black screen.
Just a black screen.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, who can share? Okay, I'm getting a different thing here. Thanks, Tammy. Okay, so, okay. And share screen. See if this does it. Wow, we're getting a technical goof here.
Yeah, I can't get it on my computer, but I got you on my phone, which is weird.
Well, I'm going to try something else here to see if I can get this to share because I'm getting an error here. So I got desktop, whiteboard, share, iPad.
Oh, what are you eating? Is it good?
You talking to me, Morningstar?
No, it's on your mom.
Oh, she's
Yeah, I'm
eating.
eating the same thing that he announced he made for himself.
Oh,
It's
is
very
it
good.
great?
We had a guest drop by the house, so we were late. So we apologized for eating on screen.
That's okay. Just making me hungry. I just don't understand why I can't get on my computer, but I can on my phone. So I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. John, what if you just go down and not showing your screen and go to your web browser? Is that where you're trying to go? Is to your web browser and show a screen?
Well, I'm going to go, I'll show my desktop here. And you're
Oh,
probably getting a black
okay.
screen again, right? Or are you seeing?
Now we're seeing your screen. So now can you get to the screen you want to show us?
Right, but it's not, this is my computer. Are you seeing where it says contacts and, John Miser like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not what I want to share. So at least that part of sharing is working, but my iPad, let's try it again. I'm
Oh, you're trying to do the mirror part?
I'm just trying to share off my iPad.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm connected via cable. That's what they say to do.
Mhm.
And it's not doing it.
It says you've started screen sharing, but
You're not seeing
I
it.
only see you in your office.
Okay, so I'm going to try this again. Huh. Isn't it always nice to have technical glitches?
I know, it's frustrating.
It's like,
I'm
okay.
not sure I can think of a way to help you.
Unless you can share from your thing and I could give you sharing capabilities to share from your screen on the
Are we just going to the Healy screen or what?
I'm
or
just
where are
trying to
you
go to the
wanting to
Healy
go?
Advisor. So I got whiteboard
Let's
here.
see.
I've never had this error before, so isn't that odd? And I'm sorry to waste everybody's time.
Can you try to restart your iPad?
Yeah, okay, I'll try that. Let's see what that does. Okay, let's see, how do we do that? I'm pressing the button.
Hey, while you're doing that, are we supposed to sign into the Heal Advisor app?
You're talking about
Or
the,
is that
go ahead, Morningstar.
the one with the little squiggly on the front? Kind of the
Yeah, with the
little,
little squiggly on the front. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I wanted to
that's
demo how to
right.
do. But yes, you sign into that.
I have not yet, but it's asking for a password. I don't know where I got where do I get a password from?
So the password you have would be the same one that you used when you signed into your Healy.
Oh, God. Who knows what that was?
Yeah.
Lord, I have no idea.
Well, my
I
guess
might
is,
be able to show you in a minute, but just,
yep. My guess is on that Morningstar is if you were kind of following protocol and Anae was doing it, unless you changed it. There
does
it is.
anybody have a testimony that they want to share while we're kind of working on this?
Or have a question?
I have an experience from another group that I thought was exceptionally interesting.
Okay.
You want to hear that?
John, this is Judy. I'm going to try and hang up and call back in again because I'm getting a spooling message in the center of my screen that says waiting, and I can't move my screen left or right to see everybody who's attending. So something's locked up on my screen, so I'll be back.
Okay. I'm just befuddled here. I've never had it. So there.
Maybe,
Oh.
John, you want to stop recording and then start recording when we're ready to go.
You know what's weird is my computer sees the iPad. So my computer sees that my iPad is connected to my computer. I rebooted, I followed Hun's idea here to reboot my iPad. My computer sees it. You know what I'm going to try? I'm going to try my phone. I'll try my phone, forget the iPad. Let's see if I can get my phone to be seen by the computer. That may be it. You know what? I had two things plugged in. I think I just figured it out. Got it. Should go. Come on. Okay, now we're going to go through. We're going to start. You guys are really nice and patient with me. I appreciate it.
I can try here
I,
and
I
see.
think I figured it out.
Okay. Because I just got to a point too where I might be able to do it.
Although now I hit a different problem. Okay, let's do this. Let's go there. Okay, so you guys see my computer screen right now?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to go here. Go to sharing. Okay. And try one last thing here. Okay, cell phone, screen share. Wow, I'm about ready to punt. Hey, look at that. Okay, we've skinned the cat. Now you guys can see that. That's my cell phone.
Yep.
Okay, bingo, we're off and running. And so this is what, this is, so thank you everybody for your patience. We solved the glitches. Here I go. I've got Heal Advisor Analyze. It's our Blue Dot app. And that's the one where we can do our scans and we can send vibrations to people. Over here is the Pink Dot app. And that's the one where we actually connect directly to our Healy and when we hook ourselves up to the bracelets or sticky pads. And then what I wanted to talk to you about is the Heal Advisor app. So I am going to open that up. So I am opening that up and that is firing up. And I've already logged into this. So if you're coming in for the first time and you haven't done it, so like Morningstar was saying, oh God, I forgot my password. They're going to go through, they're going to ask you for your email address and your password because they want to know that you have, bought this application. And so I'll answer questions if you have questions about how do you buy the application or do it because there's a whole little bit. But first of all, I just want to show you what it is. So when we
I
come
found my
here,
password, by the way, so I'm good.
go ahead, got a question?
No, I just said I found my password. I got in, so I can follow you.
Okay, so here I am in Heal Advisor, and what this application does is I'm going to go down here. I've also got a subscription up here, so I'm going to ignore the digital nutrition part, and I'm going to focus down here tonight where it says Heal Advisor Search. So in here, it says Healy, and IMF stands for Individual Microcurrent Frequency Programs. That's what IMF stands for. And the reason they call it individual microcurrent frequency is because you're hooked up, you've established polarity, you're getting microcurrents, and the value of microcurrents are they help stimulate your cellular energy. So that's what they call it, IMF programs. So just so you go like, oh, what does that mean? IMF stands for individual microcurrent frequency programs. So I'm going to go open it up. And of course, they give me the lawyer notice. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, I just want to search the Healy IMF programs because that's what we all have. Everybody here has the Healy programs. Maybe somebody's got the digital nutrition programs, but I'm not going to go there tonight. I'm just going to show this. So I've selected just that. And I'm going to type up here. And I go like, oh, if I had an issue on something, what programs would I run? So if some of you were here last week, you heard Pamela discuss, oh my God, she went to work. She was at work. She went to the water cooler. She got some hot water out of the Culligan water heater to go like make herself a cup of tea. As she's walking back to her desk, she dumps the whole hot water on her arm. So from her wrist part, from her crease of her elbow here down to her wrist, it just all of a sudden went beet red and was starting to blister. So she comes in here and she types in burns. Right? So you see that she typed in burns. What do I do for a burn? Bam. These are all the programs that they would recommend for burns. Renewal, Pure, Balance, Clean All, Supplement, Skin Local, Immune System, Skin, Skin Support, Scars, Stress, Toxin. Okay.
What do the plus and minuses mean?
Good question. Plus or minus means if you were going to, good question, Judy. So if you were going to go through and you wanted to create a calendar and you wanted to do this like for, the next month, you would go, oh, I want to do, renewal, I would choose that. And I want to run Pure. And, if you see there, actually it's just saying the program was removed. So, the program was added to the pool. See that little thing down there at the bottom? So
Yep.
you can create a pool of programs, and what this will do is it will populate a calendar for you to run the programs.
Okay.
Okay? And I'll go to that next step here. What Pamela did, she just went through and said, oh, you know what, I'm going to work on, I think she just intuitively said, I'm going to go work on, skin systemic. She just chose one of the skin programs. I don't remember which one she chose, but there it was, local. So she chose this guy right here. And she goes, I'm going to run this one. And then she put an adhesive pad at the top of her wrist and an adhesive pad down by her crux of her elbow there. And then she ran that program twice. It was a 30-minute program. And she ran it twice. And then she had those results that she reported last week. So let's say now we're not Pamela and we're not doing something for an acute issue. Let's say somebody wanted to work on an issue that they're working on and they go, you know what, I know it's not going to get done in 30 minutes, 60 minutes. This one might take a minute because I'm dealing with a chronic issue. So let's say I have a chronic issue and I go like, I'm having problems with my joints. Right? I got joint pain, joint problems, joint disease, cartilage, joints, bones. You see, there's a lot of different ways that you can begin to ask a question of that. Or let's say, I have stomach issues. Okay, I got stomach or stomach pain. Maybe I'm having a pain right now. Which ones would be for just stomach pain? Okay, I've got release, first application, digestol. This could be in the moment when you go, I want to run a program right now relative to my stomach pain. Now you can see there's a lot here and you kind of go, well, I'm kind of overwhelmed. Which one do I run? Well, you can take a pick and kind of go, you know what? I'm at work and I actually have a lot of stress. And sometimes when I get stressed, so I'm going to run the extreme stress one and see what that does. You know what? I ate some food that I'm kind of worried about what I ate. I think I'm going to run the toxin one. I mean, that might be a way that you interact with Healy and the information that comes up where you're going to go through here. Oh, my immune system, there's some people in my family that kind of have the flu symptoms. Oh, that's maybe why I've got kind of that queasy feeling in my stomach. So we all know we can have stomach pain from some issue. What's it from? Oh, I'm not sure, right? But this is where you can kind of interact with this and get a start to make a selection.
John,
Yep.
I think also pairing this with your Blue Analyze app and seeing too, does any of these particular ones come up? Or is these categories ranked really high in your scan? So you can kind of do some of, the blue scan, possibly to help you narrow down where you should start. And some, maybe it's gonna align and maybe it's not, but I think that would be another way to say, oh, do any of these come up in a high percentage on my blue scan? And look at it that way too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's another idea to kind of go through to narrow it in.
Pair them together.
Yep. So let's go through and say like, okay, let me go through here. Let's say, I've been having problems with my eyes. Okay. So my eyes, and it's really more specifically my eyesight. Okay. Well, here's a bunch of programs that are relative for eyes, right? So it's got all these different programs that can work with the eyes. And I go, okay. And I am not going to deselect any of them. I kind of go, you know what? Maybe all these programs might be good. So I want to go through and put it into a program. And it says, okay, this many programs. Actually, I have other programs, so I didn't clear it here. So I should have cleared it. It said 41 programs were added to your program pool. So then I would go through here and pop up my calendar. Okay, these are all the programs in my pool. Let me get back there. There's something that is throwing me off here in this moment. Well, this part here, you just watched over here. When I touch this little button up here, I can delete all the programs.
I can't, where are you touching?
I touched up here in the top first, Judy, and then it gave me the trash can. And all I need to do is just touch the trash can and it erases the program. So I'm just going to clear them all right now so I can get back to a beginning bit here and then show you what I wanted to, because I hadn't cleared it. So you saw how fast I could clear it. So, and then I can,
Is it down at the bottom? You do the, there you go.
so now
But
I've
down
hit,
at the bottom, you can do the search. Do you see at the bottom? Is that where you typed in eyes?
or back here. So what I just found out here is I came up here, Tammy, I found out my
Okay.
mistake. So there's two ways to do a search. I want to build a schedule. So I
Right.
touch this button here.
Right.
Okay. Now I'm going to go into Heal Advisor search.
But that's going to be topic selection versus going to
I
the
know,
eyes
I know, I
that
want to
way.
get back over there, but
There you go. There's eyes too.
right. But there was a way that I could eyes
Mhm.
next. There it is. Okay. So I get the same things there. So those are the actual selections. And then I go eyesight.
Mhm.
And then I go next and I select that and I go start. Please wait while your individualized microcurrent frequency programs are being harmonized. And I go continue. So now what it's done, you see it's built a schedule for me, one, and it over here I've said I'm willing to run it 3 times a day. I could do a parameter and say I just want to do it 2 times a day or 1 time a day, but it adds all the programs. So it's added 6 programs relative for eyes. So today's program is Clean All. And if I want to run that program Clean All, I would go through there and I would select it. And what it does is it all of a sudden opens up my Healy. I got to have my Healy turned on. So I'm turning it on. And it's opening up my Healy. And give it a second. And there it is. It selects Clean All for me. And then all I have to do is push the start button. And the program's being transmitted. So then, now you have your 6 programs. I don't want to do that yet. I've got my 6 programs and it would let me go through my programs and I wouldn't even have to think about it. Each day I just go in there on that field and I select it. And it's another way to go deal with a chronic issue. So you say, I'm going to work on my eyes. You can choose up to 3 subjects. You can say, I want to work on my eyes, my skin, and my hair. And it would provide you a program pool like that for those conditions. And where there was duplication, let's say if in eyes and hair the peer program is needed for both, well then it recognizes that and it won't duplicate that. So I'm going to come back and I'll see if there's a question with what I've done so far.
That's funny.
You do not have to have the coil to run these.
No, you can have the coil or you can just hook it up with your wristbands or your
Okay.
piece of sticky pads.
Okay.
John, can you show like, because when I try it for the scheduler and I go by different topic, it looks like it only show by like the scheduled topic. So is there any way that I can, it will show like all of the topic, or I can only select like one topic at a time and show on my schedule?
Okay, so this one here, so if I understand your question, so this one here has the schedule for just the eye programs, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we know that it's selected 6, so I'm going to go through and I am going to clear it. So I'm going to push that button. What would you like to do? I'd like to change, application times or reminders. So, this is where I can update my schedule and show this is, let's say I just want to run it twice a day. So I guess I'm not showing you your question yet, hon. But, I can update the program schedule and now it'll show me those 6 programs like that.
So my question will be that, okay, so I have like, let's say I have 2 different issues that I want to address.
Yep.
So one is like eyesight and the other one probably I have a scar. So,
Yep.
and I would like to add that to the scheduler. Like, is there any way for the scheduler to show that both program in my schedule?
So let's say we're going to add hair. And now here I get a chance to add the programs for hair to my program schedule. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So I could go through and say, okay, I'm going to go through and I go through start the program. Come back out of here. See what I did here. Let me get back out. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to go to search to reports. Okay, so I'm going to come back to here and hold on, I want to go to Healy Program Assistant and let's say we were going to go add connective tissue and I have eyes and I had kidney. So now what it's doing is it's going across those 3 categories and it's scanning which programs. So here are the programs to work on those 3 sets of issues. So this is what it built for me. So these were the programs that were added to the program pool. And now that I add them to the program pool, it will go into my program scheduler and add those programs for me as we go forward. Did that help, Hun?
I think when you look at your schedule topics, it still show I. When you go back to the schedule. Yeah, so in the middle, yeah, I say your schedule topic are I. So I think, yeah, so I think,
So there it is.
I think you
See what
can,
I
yeah.
just did, hon? Okay, so thank you. So change topic.
Mm-hmm,
See now where I touch here, down here it says change topic.
correct.
I touch down here so that we got eyesight,
Mm-hmm,
connective tissue, kidney.
okay.
So now I go start. So thanks for pointing that out. And I go continue. And again, so it's just going to start with this one here, but now I'm going to want to see my schedule.
Color
I
coded.
just want to double check. So I've got all 3 selected. And I want to see my schedule.
They're color coded. So kidneys are the pinker ones. Connective tissue blue and eyesight is purple.
Yep, thanks, Tammy.
Mhm.
So then you see how they're running those programs.
Can you choose to run them in a different order, or let's say today you really felt you needed this one for whatever reason sometimes. Would you be able to do that, or do you kind of have to stick the course?
Well, if you decided not to run, let's say it's got queued up for us right now, Tammy, clean all.
Yeah?
So you go, okay, I don't want to run clean all today because I see that one's relative to the eyesight, but I'm really having an issue with connective tissues,
Correct.
right? So what I would do is I would just go into, I don't know if I can see, if I touch that to see what tomorrow's is. Oh, there it is. So it was showing that that is an energy program, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I would just go into Healy myself and I'd say start program. And that's how I would do it. So good question.
Okay. Okay.
And so you get an idea. It takes a minute for it to kind of do its thinking to get it started up, but then it brought me to the right program. So I'm going to cancel that because I don't need to do that right now. I don't need to update my version right now. Okay, so let's go back over here because maybe this has been a little bit. So this is basically your home screen where you start. So if you were to have a subscription for the digital nutrition, you'd have these programs up here, you know, and that, you know, we can go through that another day if somebody wants to go like, oh, I'd like to get the digital nutrition because there's 72 or 76 different nutritional supplements they do. Your basic Healy search, which includes all the programs that are listed for your Healy that you acquired. If you were to acquire the animal program for your animal, you could program your animal in there and do it for, you know, create a schedule for your animal. And then there's another subscription on there called the Bioenergetic Vitalization. And you would, you know, create a subscription for that. But on mine, you can see it's grayed out. So I don't have Bioenergetic Vitalization. I don't have the animal. But I do have Healy Search and I do have digital nutrition. So that's kind of how it shows up on your device when you have it. And everybody can download this and everybody can log in, and you can even not have a subscription. And there's a benefit to doing that. It's a small one, but I'll show it to you right now. Healy has given us the ability to adjust the intensity on our Healy when we're running a pink dot to low to high. And so how do I do that? I would come over here to settings. And I come over here to, I believe it's Healy configuration. So let me go do it. And I gotta have that on. Okay, so you can see I've got a couple of Heelys here, but over here it shows me the Heely that I have right here. So here's my serial number, it pops up, and I can go from a high current to a low current. And all I have to do is touch this switch button, and it'll send a message up to the cloud. And within 20-30 minutes, it will change my Heely so that it goes from high to low or low to high, whatever your preference is. So this is how you adjust your Heely, because some people like to actually feel the currents. Right now, as a default, it's set on low current.
Ah,
So it's set as a default automatically on low current. But if you want to go through and you want to adjust this to high current, you download the Heely Advisor app. You don't even have to have a subscription to anything, but this gives you the capability to switch on your pink dot from high to low current. So then I'm going to just shift for a moment, and I'm just going to give you what Heely is doing, why people today might want to have the ability to do the search to actually, acquire this application, acquire this subscription. And it's not even a subscription anymore. I've had it as a subscription since October because, as I was sharing this, a lot of people would ask me questions. Well, what can I do for my stomach, John? Or what can I do for my eyesight? Or what can I do for my joints? And I would just show this to them as a way, besides just doing a scan, well, here's what the experts at Heely who built the programs would suggest. So Heely, as we all know, has just made a big change in how they do business. We're now in Heely, 2.0. So for the last 2 years, we were in Heely 1.0. In Heely 1.0, if you wanted to have the ability to do this Heal Advisor search capability, you had to acquire a subscription, and the subscription was about $40 a month. Okay? And now in Heely 2.0, they decided, they've made a change. Anybody who acquires a Heely in Heely 2.0, they're just going to get the Heely search thing when they buy their Heely. So then they said, oh, okay, well, what are we going to do about the people in Heely 1.0 that already bought their Heelys? What if they want that capability?
and
Well,
John, let's clarify too that 1.0 is anybody who purchased through June of 2021, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just to clarify that for those of you who are maybe wondering, what am I? Okay,
No, very good. Thanks, Tammy. So those of, and I guess I was making the assumption, which so it's always good to clarify an assumption that everybody's here had bought their Heelys back in June or earlier.
okay,
So in Heely 2.0, those of us that bought our Heely back in June or earlier, if we want to get it, we have to sign up as if we were getting a subscription. We pay for that, it's $40, but it's not going to be a subscription. They're just going to charge you a one-time fee, and that's it. And they say they're telling us they want us to do that before August 31st. I don't know what happens after August 31st. What the price is going to be or how they're going to go do it for those of us in the 1.0 world. But they said if you do it before August 31st, you're just going to pay a one-time fee. It's going to be $40, and that's it. $40 and change in taxes.
Yeah.
But you know what? It'll still be confusing when you sign up because it's going to sound like it's a subscription. I can tell you this, it's not. The version's there. You can rest assured you're not going to get charged 2 months. And if you do get charged 2 months, you just let me know, or your person who's up with there, we'll put in a support ticket, we'll get you your money back. Because they're working out glitches, but that's just how it is. So I'll pause there for a second. And Tammy, you were going to say something, and then if there's any questions, because I want to just make sure people get this.
Yeah, I think it specifically says 41, and there's another one named very closely for 61. So just make sure you're choosing the $41 one. And when you go to check out on the invoice before you do the final complete, you'll see that there's nothing on the bottom half that says reoccurring. And so that'll kind of give you that rest assured that you're not going to be continued to.
Well,
be
let me do
billed as
this.
well.
I want to see that. So let me see if I can log into that. 'Cause
And
kinda
I
see-
had bought the Digital Nutrition and the Healy Advisor search at the same time. And on the bottom of my invoice, Healy Nutrition, Digital Nutrition had this will be a recurring order. And next to the 41, it was said one time. So, yeah.
Yep. So let's just see what it looks like so everybody can see. So this is what the new Healy shop looks like. So we're going to come in over here to Shop United States. And we're rooting for Canada to come along there, aren't we, Rach?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Should be coming soon. That's all I know. So here we go. So I'm going to click here. And coming over to here. And I am going to log in. And we're all used to this fast speed. Okay, so I'm gonna come over here to shop and we're gonna go to, let's see, it's Healy Editions, program groups, add-ons, modules, upgrades. You know, I don't even know which group it's under, so.
It's under apps, I believe.
It's under apps right there?
I believe so.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, so I'll just show the difference here that Tammy brought up. So here we go. This is the Heal Advisor app. It's $41 plus tax. Okay, so that's all you have to do to order this thing and go through here. Over here, what this is, we all have that. I think everybody here has the Blue Dot app. In Healy 2.0, they're selling versions of the Healy where it doesn't have Blue Dot capability, where you can go through there and do scans. So people can get a subscription to do a scan. So they can buy a lower level model, but they can buy the scanning capability, and that's what this is. So we're back over here, and so this is what you'd acquire, and you're gonna pay for it a one-time fee. You know, you add in your serial number. Everybody know where their serial number is on that? It's on the back of your Healy. You know, it's on the back of your Healy. You can go through there and you see it down here underneath these little codes down there. And it starts with a 010101, most likely 04, and then 4 digits after that. So plug in there, add that to your cart. It's just
And
it.
it should drop your serial number down, or, that should be in the Dropbox. Because you're logged in, it'll have record of what serial number, so. That also says if you have multiple
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah,
Oh,
so if you have multiple Healys, it's only gonna go on one of your Healys. So when you pick, decide which one and label it really well so you know which Healy has which capability.
okay, got it. So now that's something I didn't know, that now I can start to check on my Healys to see if they've got a right record to what I think I have. Interesting.
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
kind of cool.
Yep. And
All
then,
right.
yeah.
So anybody have any questions on the Heal Advisor? Everybody understand how to go order one? Okay. So I've got that. So everybody knows how to order that. You should be able to do that. I would do it. I think it's been very valuable. I've liked it. It's worked with me. And um, so I think that clears up that. I would get it. I think it's an easy, $41. You got it. It's on your Healy. That Healy that we have now, the Resonance, just so you'll know, I'll go back there and just show you because it's like we have a smoke. We everybody here got a smoking hot deal.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if I go here to the shop and I go to Healy Editions, I'll just let you know that because I think people who are coming in after us are going to be like, why didn't I get in here earlier? So they've got the gold, and then that one doesn't have a subscription, just your 500, sort of like the old one, except it's not as fully loaded. All right. Then they've got the Healy Holistic Health. That's what they're calling this next one. And then there's, they've got a 3-month subscription bundled into that. So you got some programs that you own and some that are rented on that. That's the new concept in Healy 2.0. Then on their next version up, the Healy Aura Edition. So think of your aura analysis. They include that aura analysis scan, and then they include some programs. That's the Healy Aura Analysis. Then I come down here and I got the Healy Resonance Edition, which is like the one we have, except this one has 3 months subscription bundled into it. And then after that 3 months, you got $121 every month going forward. Right?
Yeah, there
Right?
is a,
Or you come over here and you just buy it outright and you get everything, but you're paying $5,000.
Wow.
And so most of us here had the opportunity to get that, worst case 2,500, best case you got it on a promo for 1,500. So I've got a friend of mine who doesn't want his Heal anymore. He got it for 1,500. He hasn't really wanted it. I go, I'll buy it. I'm taking it. Not even a problem because I know that I want to use it either for my business or I'll find somebody that goes like, I'll be able to, cut them, I'll be able to take care of them.
yeah,
So-
if you go up, John, on just to kind of, on another screen right in the Healy, it outlines it more like the gold. The gold has the gold cycle, the bioenergetic support, the pain local, and then the search module. And then it gives you some other, that have it. I don't even think it gives you added subscription things. So, yeah, so you're getting, if you guys know, we have, let's see, if you bought that Healy, what was it, Resonance before, I mean, you have, I don't even think it lists,
Here, I'll show you.
yeah, even the Resonance, someone asked me this, the Resonance for the, how much is that one? Yeah, the Resonance doesn't have as much as you got with the 1,500. It does look like everything, the Professional is the one. Okay, yep. Yeah,
So this is that, and then we'll go back to the Professional, which is the one we all have.
yes. I mean, it's just phenomenal, the number of programs that we have compared to. Mhm.
The only thing they don't have that we got, so we even got a little bit of a better bonus, we got the historical deep cycle programs. The deep cycle now programs going forward, they're renamed, they're going to be called Deep Cycle H. And I've been in touch with the developer of it, Jan over in Norway, and he basically said the difference between that and H is I've had 6 other years of gaining experience when I first created those that I've now incorporated into the H programs. But he goes, the deep cycle ones are still really good. So I'm going to have some more time with him. He's on vacation right now, and I think it's next week or the week after next. We got another session scheduled, and I'm just gonna pick his brain a little bit more so I can try and say like, oh, is there anything we would really want to know on a subscription that if somebody has all this, why would they want that? Right? I don't know what that delta really is that I could begin to intuit or something that I could try myself that then I could talk to people who are really like the deep cycle programs and went, man, I'd really, I'm just missing something. I don't know. I've had a hard time trying to figure out what I'm missing because there's still so much to eat in here. There's so much over here that it's like I haven't gone through it all or been able to use it all. And I've been on board now for like nine plus months, 10 months. So, anyways, that's
I will, is there any questions on any of this before we move on to something? Just my comment is a little off topic.
Well, I have a question. I mean, the reason that, I've had my Healy residence since December, thanks to John. And the reason I didn't buy a subscription to the Healy Advisor Search is because in my mind, I thought, and somebody brought this up before, if I have that blue app, I have access to the massive information field on the cloud, intelligence beyond human intelligence, as I understand it, the information field. And I'm able to access the quote unquote advice of that database. And so when I would see the Heal Advisor app and on Facebook groups, I would see people saying, well, what would you do if, my joints are hurting? And people would say, oh, look on my advisor app and these are the programs that come up. I would think, what's the difference between using the Heal Advisor app, which are human minds, and accessing the database of the information field, where then intuitively I would use what comes up, or I would take that advice pretty seriously. So I'm just curious what other people think about that. I mean, I'm gonna buy the Heal Advisor app for $41 plus tax because it's there, but since we're here talking about the topic, I'm curious what other people think about that.
Well, I'll take a
John,
stab at
do
it.
you
I
wanna
won't
do
let
it?
anybody else take a stab at it first.
Yeah. I think that you should do both. Number one, you always want to do the blue because that is the information field. And because I truly believe a lot of times the information field is the root cause to a lot of our physical things. Okay, so trust that blue, but there are situations in the form of the burn. I'm not sure what she would have gotten when she scanned the blue app. Okay, but when it goes by our greatest need, and let's say somebody else says, okay, this is my greater need right now because I can't go to work. Again, you still got to work through that blue app because I really believe that sometimes by not doing that, you can't get well. You know what I'm saying? But I also believe that you need to do the pink. And sometimes what we feel is a priority, you could have multiples. And this is a way of pinpointing and maybe bumping it up the list a little bit faster. So that you have the physical result that you want.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I definitely understand that.
So, Rach?
Curious. Yeah.
But that's also, one more quick thing just to wrap that up.
Mhm.
The other thing, that's why I said run the blue app and see where they kind of cross over. And that's probably going to tell me where I'm going to start in that search app, because the blue is going to kind of rank it up in there for you, but the two together work pretty powerfully.
Yeah, lucky us, eh?
Mhm.
What were you going to say, John?
So what I was going to say, Rach, is from what I understand when I've asked the questions on how did they design the Heal Advisor
Yeah, the
program,
experts. Yeah.
they had the people who created the programs, created them with certain areas, Nuno Nina said like, okay, if I got a stomach issue, I may use Pure. I may use Renewal. So when you type in that, it just brings that up. Doesn't know anything about your bioenergetic field right now, but you're getting the benefit of the expert in that moment to pick it. And I get the benefit of like, wow, but if I've got this powerful tool that's going to all of a sudden scan me and come up with its data and then real time get the data from what's included in the frequency databases and then create a marriage on that, wouldn't I prefer that?
Yeah.
I get that. And that's probably, if I've got that, I'm going to lean that way. But if I'm there right away with you know, I probably can go 2 different ways with people. I can run a scan on them. You know, if I'm sharing it, I run a scan. I say, here's what came up. But that's a snapshot in this moment of that person in time.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And then if they've had a stomach issue that's chronic, but something else was flaring, I go like, well, here are the ones to set up for a program pool to work on stomach issues. And in that way, it's hitting it as we saw, you know, in the stomach, it was hitting it from a toxin point of view. It was hitting it, or, you know, a emotional point of view, you know, from a bacterial point of view. So it could, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And-
and that scheduler is quite valuable actually, because I'll find in working with people, you know, we have to create our own schedule each time. And
Yep.
so that's actually that's a really important point that's really
Yep.
valuable. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
And I think one other way that you can kind of do it too, that I've been learning to do this, is that when you have that program pool, now that you've gotten from the experts, and so you've got your 6 different ones there, you can intuitively or from your own thing begin to pick it out. And some of us just are afraid to start to like work with our intuitive abilities. Some of us already know it and we just go there. But you can, you know, do your muscle testing, do your dowsing over there, or just, man, like what Pamela did last week. She goes, I got them all. I didn't need to go renewal, skin local, just talk to me. And then she just did, because she goes like, well, it's local where I burned myself on my arm. I'm going to put a pad on each side, and ran it. And, you know, I wish she was here again to go show it, because that was like that to me is just an example of when you have an acute issue and you jump on it right away, as you already know with like Lars and his leg from skiing accident, man, you can get a good result fast.
yeah, yeah. I know it would be fun to talk with you guys about it. Anybody else have any questions along the lines about the Heal Advisor search app?
One other area where you can get, I'm just gonna jump in. If you have a question like on that, and let's say I didn't know, Tammy didn't know, you didn't know, Rachel, and they come in there, I would always recommend to go back into our support and type in that kind of question and go like, hey, I'm really kind of confused. I got it here. And then they might sometimes, because they might have access to product development, where they might go through that. It's just an idea. I haven't done it on that one yet, but I go like, you know, because I don't have the ability to get into product development from here. I mean, I can in a way, but that might be a fast way to get it through support and just see what we learn there. So, Rachel had an idea. Anybody else have a question on the Advisor app or questions? How about anybody with a testimonial of something that they learned working with their Healy in the last bit of while? I want to share with the group. I'm gonna get out of this sharing window so we can say to everybody. Nobody ran their Healy for the last couple of weeks? I'm teasing. I'm trying to goad somebody into it to share.
So I have a little child that I'm working with, and we're actually working with the mother, and the child is just turned a year old, and the mom was beginning to take him to the doctor for because he's nonverbal, and so the medical professionals were concerned that he was showing signs of being autistic, and so I tapped into him the way that I normally would. And both the mom and I felt that there was probably some vaccine toxicity that was contributing to the issue. So I sent a homeopathic remedy, a combination homeopathic remedy for toxin removal. And I've been running the Healy. I've run the Healy on him 3 times. So the first time that I ran it, the mom contacted me. I've only done it for 5 minutes at a time. So the first time the mom contacted me and said, I forgot to tell you that my child has sleep issues. And for the first time, he fell asleep in the car and didn't even wake up when we brought him inside. And he slept through the night until 8 a.m. So I was like, okay, cool. And then a week went by and I was like, oh, it's time to run the Healy again on little Austin. And So I ran the Healy for 5 minutes, and I wasn't really telling the mom when I was running it. And she texted me the next day and she said, Austin's had a fever. And she said, should I medicate him? And I said, well, preferably not, try all these things. And so long story short, she gave him one very small dose of Tylenol and did all of those other things. And the fever was gone in the next day. Well, the next day she texted me and she said, Austin is now using 2 words. He's saying night when we put him to bed, and he's saying mama when he wakes up in the morning. And so we've had some, she's thrilled, obviously, and he's having some great results. So I'm looking forward to what happens when I run the Healy on him again, but it's approximately once a week. I don't really do too much with him. He's not even a year, we're doing other things and mom's doing other things. So, but that's my story.
Awesome.
Wow, very good.
That is cool. Have you thought about running the coherence program, Kara? Well, actually, you're doing all blue. Never mind. Yeah, because you don't have the pink with him. Okay.
No, yeah, he's 2 hours away from me. So I haven't even met the child or laid eyes on him. So,
Okay.
Which is the other cool part, that we can create such dramatic change without really having to be with them. So.
Exactly.
Okay. I've got one too. I had a friend of mine said that they couldn't go to sleep. I have him in my Healy. He was having a problem sleeping. I ran, and I knew that he was stressed, so I ran the Relax program. Checked in with me. He goes, I went out like a light. So that was kind of cool. And then I see there was a question in here, Rachel, you asked about a black widow spider bite.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a story too. I was curious what the Healy Advisor app would say. So last week on Monday, I was fencing, climbing around in the bush, and I got bit by a black widow spider. Super, super nasty bite on my thigh, on the outside of my thigh. And I ended up in the emergency room and with a big bite and, inflammation from basically my butt to my toe. So I ran, first, as always, I always run the Blue app, and I love the creative homeopathy one just to clear. I just feel like that's a really good one to clear anything that might come up. So I always run that just to clear my system. And then I'll often do the Schussler salts and just kind of like boost my system. And then I'll go to the Pink app and intuitively choose what I think will fit for a situation and like that, or whatever's happening. And so in this case, I ran toxins, cure, and wounds. Basically that happened on Monday last week. Today's Thursday, so a week and a few days. And it's basically, there's a lump right at the center of the bite. It's called a hemorrhagic spider bite. So you get a bruise about this big. And I just was in yesterday to see the doctor, and they said, wow, that's absolutely amazing how your system dealt with a pretty heavy dose of spider venom and passed it all through. He was super, super impressed. So then I was just curious what the Healy Advisor app would also say for something, a spider bite like that.
Well, I typed in there like bites, bites, insect bites, none of that came up.
Venomous, yeah.
So I'll try venom. But I typed in toxin, so obviously we're thinking in the same vein though. Let's see if it says venom.
Yeah. I was glad to have my Healy to help with that.
Yeah, no, venom's not in there, but toxin was the one that came up for me on that, because obviously that's a toxin going into your body. So I imagine if you ran that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it comes up to run the toxins in bioenergetic harmony too, which I'm sure that's what you're in.
Yeah. Cool.
I'm wondering, I don't have it at my thing here, but I'll take a look and send you an email later, but I'll go look into the mothership and I'll type in spider bite or venom because they've got a bigger database than we have on the Healy and see what it says
Yeah.
there.
I know that there can be long-term really negative effects from getting a nasty spider bite like that. And I decided not to Google that at all, but I did Google what are the medicinal benefits of spider venom. And I see that they're doing test cases on people to use spider venom to cure cancer, epilepsy, and chronic pain. So I've decided that I'm cured from all of those 3 things. Since it happened.
Right, that's good. I know.
What's positive about it?
Let me take a peek in this other one here. I'm going to take a look on this mothership here and see what it says.
Rachel, where do you live?
I live in British Columbia, southeastern BC, and we were installing a grizzly bear fence on some property that we own that's quite rural, a couple hours north of here. And so we were right in the bush climbing around and yeah.
I'll stay in New Hampshire. We
Oh,
get snow, so that kills things like that. We don't.
yeah. Well, apparently it's pretty rare here. They're here, but it's not very often. The emergency room doctor said something when I was ready to leave. He said, "Thank you for bringing in something really interesting. Usually I'm dealing with boring heart attacks and strokes, but today it was interesting." Like, oh, I'm glad for you.
Let's see, I'm just trying to search.
I didn't feel very good for a couple of days, systemically, yeah. John, when you say the mothership, are you talking about your time waiver?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. So, yeah, why don't we chit chat afterwards because there's stuff here on there and we'll send
Cool.
you love. Okay. Give that a whirl because it does come up and does have some little remedies and stuff.
Can I just ask a question here, quick?
Well, that sounds
Can
like a
you
good
see,
question. I'm teasing.
can you see last night when I was running mine, this is all I had. And it was running, but it wasn't,
yeah.
it didn't show any of the other stuff. What did I do wrong?
Nothing. You didn't do
Oh.
anything wrong. What happened, Bonnie, is like sometimes the program glitches. Is that what phone are you on? What's that, an iPhone 7 or 8?
Well, this is a 7, but I was on my iPad actually, and I took a picture of it.
Okay. And how old's your iPad?
It's new.
Oh, good. Okay, no worries. Even new or old, every once in a while on the iPad platforms or the Mac platform, we're suffering through some things because of the code base of how they developed the software. And they developed this software like 5 years ago. And at the time when they developed it 5 years ago, they had no idea the myriad of platform configurations that they were going to have to support. And Bluetooth, cuts across all those. You got Bluetooth on a 7, on a 7 Plus, on a 8, and then they've got Bluetooth on Androids. And when they made a change in one, the way the software was written was very brittle. So if all of a sudden you had a problem on Android and you made a change on the Bluetooth thing, it rippled across the other ones and it just would cause them to crash. So
Okay.
Healy recognized this, said, oh, okay, great. And we had no idea that we were going to be this successful. They were a little $7 million company year one, $100 million company year two. This year they're expecting to be, 300 or 400 million. So what they're doing is they've got a team of engineers that's just sitting there fixing the leaky boat. And then they've got another team of engineers rebuilding these apps in a more modern language that gives them more flexibility to deal with all the issues so we don't have so many little issues. We haven't transitioned over here yet. So basically what I would do with your issue there is I would just reboot the app, restart and start over. You did nothing wrong. You did nothing wrong. You just got a glitch. And then kind of when you get used to getting the glitches, yeah, they're a little bit of a headache, but you know, they're working on it so we have less headaches. And the bonus is we've got this wonderful tool at our hands. I mean, I'm kind of trying to say there's the real benefit.
Mhm.
We really do have a benefit. This tool
Okay.
is just stunning with what it can do. So you did nothing wrong. Just
Okay.
boot it, start it, and you'll be good to go. And if you don't,
Okay.
and you keep having problems like that, well, you know, just make sure you're at the latest version of the app. Like you saw me in the demo here today, it was saying, it was asking me to upload and do something.
Mhm. Mhm.
I didn't do right then. I will afterwards, and I'll do that. But I would just
Okay.
do that and, you know, see where that should resolve it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good question. Anybody else? Either that or we'll call it a wrap because, you know, I don't like to go too long after an hour, but that sounds good. Going once?
I have a question. I don't really know where to go to find our recorded sessions.
Okay, I'll show you real quick.
Okay.
So let me go through. I'll share my screen again. I'm going to bring up an invitation. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and screen share, come over here. Okay, so this is an invitation that goes out, right? I don't know if it's this week's, this looks like an old one I have here, but you see where I've got Zoom meeting down here, Morningstar?
Uh-huh.
And then if you look down below that, our YouTube channel where we store recorded weekly calls.
Duh.
It goes on every, that's
Okay.
okay. That's okay. Good question. I've had it from more than one individual. So it's good.
Okay.
So just click that and that'll take you over to YouTube and it says quantum vibrations. Here we go. And we're still, so you come up here to videos, click that, and we're still late. I'm waiting for Paul to get those other ones up. So we've got some that have not gotten up. So I'm gonna work this out with Paul. Tammy says she's got an idea for me to make this a little easier administrative wise because I'm gonna take tonight's call. It's on my computer. I upload it to Dropbox for Paul. I send him the link. He takes the link and then he uploads it to YouTube.
Okey doke.
Yep.
Just
Or if I've recorded it on the cloud, then I just give him the link to the cloud and he does it that way. So it's just, you know, I've got two different ways to do it, but Tammy says she's got an idea for me where I can maybe make this a little more seamless and maybe I just get Paul's password for quantum vibrations and, you know, keep this more current.
Okay, one other thing, what I was going to mention that I got on this group called Healy Avalon. I think they're in Europe. They're in London or England somewhere.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I found them, but she was doing a very advanced, I thought, work with sacred herbs, sacred oils, and was using this book that actually has a frequency image and then scanning the image with the Healy and then using that to make a program. It was really fascinating. And it was kind of like tonight, it was like over my head, but they went in detail about how to do some stuff that was, have y'all done anything with that kind of stuff? With oils and tinctures and stuff?
There is a way, and I'll, you know, maybe one of the weeks we'll do that. I'll go through and show you, and that's doing it on the Blue Dot app, where you can actually create a remedy, put it in there, directly tie it to yourself, and make a broadcast. So if you've got your favorite, let's call it CBD oil, you know, and you take that CBD oil and you want to, you know, vibrate those frequencies into you, there's a way to do that.
Okay, yeah, I found that kind of interesting. I think one of them she did, like she held up the myrtle bottle and then just took a picture of it, you
Okay.
know, and all it said was myrtle on the oil bottle and stuff. But there, anyway, it was really kind of fascinating. And if and you want to see it, I could email you that link. It was pretty interesting. Healy Avalon over in Europe somewhere. Oh, that's all I know. Oh, I do want to say that thank God for the Healy. I about 2 weeks ago became pretty injured when I popped my right hip socket out. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. And I am real certain that that I the Healy immediately, of course, got applied, and so did all kinds of other things get applied to this process. But I was able to, I couldn't, walk or step down or do this. So I just measured my progress over about a 2-week period or a 3-week period until I'm just pretty much back to normal. And it's really awesome. There's just one tiny twinge, but I know I would not have gotten that quickly through that kind of pain and dislocation if I hadn't had the Healy. So I'm saying hooray. And also, I just want to say hooray for being talked into and spending the money that I didn't have at the time to get the advanced Healy, the resonance Healy. Because looking at that page and seeing what's going on now, it's like, woohoo! I for sure wasn't going to be able to manage that. So I'm thrilled. So I just want to say thanks to whoever, to Anae for getting me involved and for the work that I've done with a lot of people on this. And it just seems endless. It's so much. It's kind of hard to figure out what to do exactly because there's just so much.
Well, you can thank Rachel for getting involved because she kind of leads all the way down to you, Morningstar.
Oh, is that your mom?
My mom is friends with Anea, yeah. So.
Oh, that's you're Rachel. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, nice to meet you. And we can all thank John. Big time.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. Thanks, Rachel. I love your houses. By the way.
Oh, thank you. They're very healing places. They're wonderful spaces to do Healy work in. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. We were looking at trying to figure out how to afford those down in in this part of the world in New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty far from you. Shipping itself would be
Yeah,
little
shipping's
expensive,
not
but
that
anyway.
bad because we go, we have our lines, we have our systems. And one thing that we sell a lot into the US, and it's always important to remember that our US clients have the big advantage of the strong US dollar. So when you look at the prices on our website, usually you can reduce the cost by about 25%, depending on what the exchange rate is. And that's quite significant when it comes to the cost of a house. I mean, you think about 10% on, on a sale at a store or something, and a house is significantly more than that. So.
Especially these days, it's a lot. Well, I know this isn't Healy, but thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to
And
pause
thank
the
you.
recording for right now. So just stop there.